Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari Sodanandana Pratijana Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari Sodanandana Pratijana Ranjana Jasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamistapad Paramahamsa Prabhujakacharya Astatir Shishimad Divine Grace, the A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananda Vaishnavani Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, All glories to the devotees, all glories to the devotees, all glories to the devotees, all glories, Shishi Guru and Shri Gauranga. Uh-huh. Do you want me to get up?
I did say so your questions. Hare Krishna, anyone out there in internet land? We had a glitch. There were 3 video clips in this presentation that are the heart of the thing. And somehow or other, we couldn't get them going. They worked at my house, they worked yesterday, but you know. There's a name in Shastra, it's called Harsha Shoka. Krishna calls this modern technology, and it means it brings happiness and it brings distress. So whatever happiness we've got, now we're getting distressed that it's not working. So we're going to work on it this afternoon and get it going. So I apologize for if you've logged on expecting the special presentation. Hare Krishna, what can I say? It's my fault, I apologize. But you do have Vijay Prabhu, a saintly minister for book distribution, who will be giving Bhagavatam class. And we will let you know when we get this up and running. Thank you, Hare Krishna. It's all yours. Sorry.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, this morning we're reading from the srimadbhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva, text number 4, right? Okay, then we'll also do 5. Pavaka Pavamanas Cha Suchir Iti Agnaya Para Vasishta Shapha Utpana Punar Yoga Gating Gata Pavaka Pavamanas Cha Suchi it yagnaya para Vashishta Shapha Utpana Punar Yoga Gatingataha Bhavaka Bhavamanascha Suchi it yagnaya para Vashishta Shapha Utpana Punar Yoga Gatingata Pavaka Bhavamanascha Suchi it yagnaya para Vashishta Shapha Utpana Punar Yoga Gatingata. Pavaka, of the name Pavaka. You know what Pavaka means? Well, fire. Yeah, fire is purified. Pavaka, fire. I know one devotee named Pavaka, fiery. Bhavamana, of the name Pavamana, Cha, also. Suchir, of the name Suchi, of the name Suchi. Iti, thus. Agnaya, the fire gods. Para, formerly. Vasishta, the great sage Vasishta. Sapat, by being cursed. Utpanaha, now born as such. Puna, again. Yogagatim, the destination of mystic yoga practice. Gata, attained. Translation and purport. By His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The three sons of Maharaj Antardhan were named Pavaka, Pavamana, and Suchi. Formerly, these three personalities were the demigods of fire, but due to the curse of the great sage Vasishta, they became the sons of Maharaj Antardhan. As such, they were as powerful as the fire gods, and they attained the destination of mystic yoga power, being again situated as the demigod of fire. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita 6:41, 42 and 43, it is stated that one who falls down from the yoga practice is elevated to the heavenly planets, and after enjoying the material facilities there, he again comes down to the earthly planet and takes birth in a very rich family or a very pious Brahmana family. Thus it is to be understood that when demigods fall down, they come to earth as sons of very rich and pious families. In such families, the living entity gets an opportunity to execute Krishna consciousness and thereby gain promotion to his desired goal. The sons of Maharaj Antardhan had been the demigods in charge of fire, and they regained their former position, and by mystic power returned to the heavenly planets. Om Jnana Tamarandasya Gyananjana Salakya Chakshurmalitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukuram Kotuvachalang Pangunang Hayate Gurim Nitkripa Tadaham Bande Shigarum Dinataranam Vanchikapachivyaschya Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaisnavevyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasati Gaur Bhaktivan Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Here, we're hearing how if someone doesn't perfect their life, their spiritual life in this life, then they, in their next life, they get an opportunity to be born into a family of brahmanas or pious people. But there's no guarantee that one will advance further in that birth. Just like we have an example of Advaita Acharya, his God. 3 sons deviated. Inconceivable. Mayavadis. Inconceivable. 3 were devotees, good devotees. But 3 deviated. I mean, just inconceivable. And Prabhupada had 5 children. Not one became a devotee. One was favorable. And one was so envious that he sued. He sued ISKCON. We had to give him a lot of money. So it's not a sure thing that you don't make it this life. You get, you take birth in a nice family in your next life, and you can make further advancement. No. So therefore, it behooves us to take this life very seriously. I've heard that before. Devotees say, "Well, yeah, I've gone a certain level. I'll just in my next life, I'll start where I left off in this life." And Krishna says that, Neha Bikramanasosti Prativayana Savni Yasiddharmasya Trayate. In this endeavor there's no loss or diminution. And a little advancement on this path can protect from those dangerous type of fear. So one does take up, but actually that's it's interesting that these personalities that were born, son of Prabhupada, son of Advaitacharya, were they taking up from where they left off? And they didn't take up at all practically. So it's not all black and white. It's not so. Better just take this human form of life now very seriously, and make our plans to engage somehow, inconceivable, but somehow to eventually engage in this in pure devotional service. It's the biggest challenge that anybody can face, to become free of the modes of nature and to develop our love for Krishna. Because we're dealing with these very difficult modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And Krishna says, Daivi hesha ganamayi mama maya durati mama viyeva bhajante maya mitantra. This divine energy of mind consisting of three modes of nature. Very difficult to overcome. Very difficult. But if one surrenders to me, then one can very easily cross beyond. So what is surrender? Anako yasya sankalpa pratiko yasya varjan rakshishititi vishvashu goptrate suranam yata. That means to accept things that are very favorable for devotional service. That's the first point. Accepting things favorable for devotional service. And Prabhupada is very kindly set up our society so that right from the beginning of the day we're doing things that are very favorable for our advancement in Krishna consciousness. What do? First thing we do, we're chanting the names of Krishna. We're associating with the devotees. And then later we hear srimadbhagavatam class. So it's very conducive, all this is very conducive for our advancement in Krishna consciousness. Then now we also have to reject things that are unfavorable. There's a lot of, this is Maya's kingdom, so there's a lot of things that we have to reject in this world. And sometimes it's hard to see what can be rejected and what can be accepted. Yeah. Just like there was an instance right here, not far from here, Laguna Beach, there was some personalities, they joined the movement, but before they joined, they were big drug dealers, making a lot of money. And they were giving it to Prabhupada. Use it in Krishna service, right? But then some devotees found out, and they said, Prabhupada, you know that money that you're getting? That's made from selling drugs, illegal drugs. Prabhupada used to sell drugs too, yeah. But they were illegal drugs. These are illegal drugs, Prabhupada. They're making a lot of money, and that's the money. So Prabhupada said, you have to tell them to stop. So they thought, well, yeah, use it in Krishna service. But no, we can't. We can't use illegal money in the service of Krishna. Someone's doing illegal things, and he gets back to the authorities, and it looks very, very bad. And of course, devotees are moral in any way. Selling drugs, and this is like horrible. So many people lives are ruined by taking these illegal substances. So sometimes it's a little hard to see, what's favorable, what's unfavorable. So we're so fortunate that we have Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. We're getting, everything is clear actually. We get direction from Krishna, from the pure devotee. And Prabhupada actually said that I've given you everything in my books. Everything is there. You have any question, it's all the answers are there in my books. So we're extremely fortunate. But a devotee is not only interested in his own good fortune, he's also interested in helping others become fortunate. Therefore this movement is a giving movement. Krishna says in the Gita, Brahmapranam brahmavana brahmagna brahmana brahmaivatena gantavya brahma karma samadhina. The one who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom, the spiritual world, because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which that which is consumed is absolute, and everything that is given is on the same spiritual nature. So everything that we give out to people, it's all in relation to Krishna. We only give out books that are in relation to Krishna. We distribute prasadam. We distribute the holy name. So all this is purifying. And we only accept things that are in relation to Krishna. We only want to read books in relation to Krishna. If we only take Krishna prasadam, we only associate with devotees. So some people might think, well, you guys are pretty fanatical. Just Krishna, just Krishna, just Krishna, Krishna. Yeah, well, if we want to go back to the spiritual world, you got to be kind of fanatical. And fanatical in a positive sense. Sometimes you could be fanatical in a way that's not very congenial, not very nice. But you can be fanatical in a nice way also, in a humble way. If one is fanatical and just pushing, and trying to force it down the throat, then that can be a little bitter, not very congenial, not very nice. But we give Krishna in a pleasant, in a nice way, so that people can accept. If we try to be too forceful, then it leaves a bitter taste. So accepting things favorable, rejecting things unfavorable. Accepting Krishna as our protection, that Krishna will protect us. Just like there's a saying that God, He gives and He gives and He gives, and He forgives, and we get and we get and we get, and we forget. We forget where all this is coming from. Everything is coming from Krishna. So we should feel grateful. And the way we show our gratitude to Krishna is by serving, doing things that are pleasing to Krishna. And if we keep on doing things that are pleasing to Krishna, then we get purified. We get purified. Because Krishna, He is in control of everything. So He's also in control of our happiness and distress. So if we do things that are pleasing to Him, then He arranges that we become very happy. And we may sometimes, why do I feel so happy? Sometimes. You ever have that feeling? Why do I feel so happy? It's Krishna. Krishna's giving that. So accepting things favorable, rejecting things unfavorable, Krishna will protect me, Krishna will maintain me. Yeah, Krishna will protect us also. So, actually I wanted to go to this next verse also. This next verse is really, it's pretty interesting. So this is text 5. A little bit of time. Maharaj Antardan had another wife named Nabhashvati, and by her he was happy to beget another son named Havardhan. Since Maharaj Antardan was very liberal, he did not kill Indra while the demigod was stealing his father's horse at the sacrifice. Purport. It is understood from various scriptures and Puranas that the king of heaven, Indra, was very expert in stealing and kidnapping. He could steal anything without being visible to the proprietor, and he could kidnap anyone's wife without being detected. Once he raped the wife of Gautama Muni, that was the husband of the lady, by using his disappearing art, and similarly by becoming invisible he stole the horse of Maharaj Prithu. Although in human society such activities are considered abominable, the demigod Indra was not considered to be degraded by them. It's interesting, huh? He wasn't considered degraded by doing these activities. Although Antardan could understand that King Indra was stealing the horse from his father, he did not kill Indra. You can understand he was very powerful. He could have killed him. He's a powerful personality, but he didn't. For he knew that if one who is very powerful sometimes commits an abominable act, it should be disregarded. In Bhagavad Gita 9:30 it is stated, Apichet siddharacharo bhajante mamananyabhag sadar eva samantavya samyag yavasito hi saha. It's a powerful statement. This paragraph here is deep. Thus the Lord says that even if a devotee commits an abominable act, he should be considered a sadhu, or a pious man, because of his unflinching devotion to the Lord. The devotees of the Lord never willingly commit any sinful act, but sometimes they commit something abominable due to their previous habits. Such acts should not be taken very seriously. However, because the devotees of the Lord are very powerful, whether they are on the heavenly planets or on this planet, if by chance they commit something abominable, it should not be taken into account, but should be overlooked. Interesting, huh? Very interesting. So yeah, sometimes devotees will do things that are questionable. But actually, Srila Prabhupada, he was very tolerant. There was an instance where someone had joined the ashram there in Mayapur, and he was doing some devotional service, and then it turned out that he was a thief, and he stole some things, and devotees caught him, and the Prabhupada was there. So Prabhupada, what should we do? And Prabhupada said, yeah, forgive him. That he's doing some service to it. So they let him continue doing service. He's living in the temple. And then he was caught stealing again. And they said, Prabhupada, he was caught again. And then again Prabhupada was forgiving. And one devotee said, Prabhupada, how much does this go on, this forgiving? Prabhupada said, it goes on. So let him do service. But then he told her, but if he leaves, then call the police. And actually the police had come before Prabhupada said that. So then he tried to leave, and Prabhupada said, all right, now, call the police. So So Prabhupada was very forgiving. Yeah? And this is one of the, there's 9 symptoms of a devotee it's described that who's began to advance in Krishna consciousness. That's the first one, forgiving. Kshantir avyartha kaladvang varaktir manasunyata ashabandha samudvina namagani sadaruchi. The first symptom of someone who's advancing towards Krishna is forgiving. This is very important. And the nature of this world is, there's friction. It's like Prabhupada said one time, the spiritual movement in the material world, very difficult proposal. Very difficult. Kali Yuga, people just bad character, and therefore sometimes there's some friction. So to be forgiving is very important. And what's more difficult than forgiving is to forgive and forget. That's even more difficult. You can forgive, but then to forget also, that's very difficult. But yeah, we have to be forgiving and forget, because we all have we have so many anarthas. Yeah. But deep down, beyond all the modes of nature, beyond all the anarthas, everybody is a pure soul. Everybody is a pure soul. So we have to, of course, by Krishna consciousness, eventually we're able to go beyond the facade, beyond the modes of nature, beyond the anarthas, all this, and just understand that everybody is a servant of Krishna. And then it's easier to forgive. Yeah. Because it's just like in Christianity they say, don't hate the sinner, but hate the sin. Right? So it's like, don't hate the person. We hate the modes of nature. Don't hate the devotee. It's the modes of nature that force someone to act in a way which is sometimes agitating to us. It's just the modes of nature. So we have to look beyond the modes of nature, beyond the sin, beyond this, and try to understand that actually everyone is an eternal servant of Krishna. So Kshanti avyartha kala, again, Prabhupada, many times he pointed out that we should not waste time. Time is so valuable. Prabhupada mentions this so much, so I decided to look it up, how many seconds there are in a day. Anybody know? Take a guess. Take a wild guess. How many seconds there are in a day? 86,400. 86,400. A lot of seconds. And we can't waste one of them. Of course we sleep, but that's also to rejuvenate the body. But we have so much opportunity to hear about Krishna, especially nowadays with this COVID-19. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning. That there was I remember reading, there was one person, he was on an island, and he was being interviewed, and someone said, well, isn't it kind of boring to be out here on an island all by yourself? No, I got my friends, my books. Yeah. So we have Prabhupada's books. Yeah. These are our best friends. Yeah. And Prabhupada said, he reasons ill who say that Vaishnavas die, and actually Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he reasons ill who say that Vaishnavas die while still living in sound. The Vaishnavas die to live, and living they spread the holy name around. So every day we can associate very intimately with Srila Prabhupada. He actually said one time that my books are better than me, because he put everything in his books. Yeah. So it's so nice that we have our best friend to take shelter of every day. So we're very fortunate. So many things that we could utilize our time in doing service. Just like now we have this lockdown, so many services we can do around the temple now, things that couldn't be done before maybe because of lack of time. So Time is very valuable. What did Chanakya Pandit say? You cannot buy back 1 second. All those seconds, can't buy 1 second back with all the wealth in the world. So, to utilize our time properly. Ayar harati vaya pungsang udyan astung chayanaso tasharte yakshanani to uttama shloka vaidya. That for every rising and setting of the sun, a day is lost, except for that person who utilized their time in glorifying the all-good personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So, by proper utilization of our time in Krishna consciousness, we get purified. And we get more purified, and we get more purified by this connection to Krishna. And therefore Krishna, he says that Omkara, what was that? He says that I am that which purifies. In the Bhagavad Gita, I can't remember the exact verse, but he says, I am that which purifies. In any way that we come in contact with Krishna, we get purified. This is the purifying potency of Krishna. Husantya vyartha kaladvam vraktir, that one becomes detached. As we become more and more close to Krishna, then we become detached from this material nature. And it's a higher taste. Otherwise, how is it that devotees now have been in the movement 50 years and no material sense gratification? Zero. Because they have a higher taste. No movies, no drinking, no sex, none of this. And they're happy. No material life, no TV, none of this. But they're happy. So there must be a higher taste. So it's there for everyone. Anybody can get this higher taste. It's just a question of what we want. Varaktira manasunyata, asabandha, great hope. Great hope. We should have great hope that even though we're fallen, Kali Yugites, still great hope that I can get purified. I can go back to Krishna. And it's, what is this? There's a verse by Rupa Goswami. Na prema shavanadi bhaktya piva yogostava vaishnava jnana avastiva karmava kyarhosa jatya apyastiva. He says, I have no love for you, Krishna, nor am I even qualified to hear your glories. I'm not born in a good family. Basically, I have no good qualities. But it is said that you give your mercy to those who are most fallen. And this statement has given me great hope. And this is burning in my heart, that I can achieve your mercy, love for you, even though I have no good qualifications. So especially in Kali Yuga, this verse very much resonates, because this is the most degraded age. So and it's amazing that there's so many devotees around the world, although we're in this Kali Yuga. This certainly is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So, any question? Comment? Correction? Donation? No.
So, apichet sadracha bhajate mamanandi bhak. It's the most abominable activity. They're considered to be saintly. And yeah, I mean, this is mentioning how Indra he forced himself on that sage's wife, and I mean that's pretty abominable. And and other things he did, and other things that devotees do. So it seems most people I guess I don't talk to a lot of people, but a lot of devotees I encounter, they have a hard time, you could say forgiving or seeing past even small faults, what to speak of big ones. So maybe you could just comment on the importance of that, or how to do that, or the importance of it. Because it seems quite challenging. I mean, maybe people are just really envious or something. I don't know. You
want to hear one of the most amazing things. One of the most amazing things you've ever heard, and it was a non-devotee. There was a young man. He killed another young man, and he went to jail. And the mother of this one that was killed, she was in the court, during the hearing of what he's going to get for killing. And she went to him, and she said, "I'm going to kill you." You heard this before? Amazing. She says, "I'm going to kill you." And then they took him to jail. So she was the only one that would visit him in prison. And she was trying to encourage him, And then finally she said, just before he got out of jail, she said, "Well, what are you going to do? You're getting out of jail soon, what are you going to do?" He said, "I don't know. You come and stay with me." So he did that. And he got his life back together. He became a good citizen. I mean, that was she was so forgiving. He killed her son, and she gave him shelter. I mean, that was just astounding. So forgiving. Just inconceivable. Non-devotee. I mean, jeez. I mean, that's probably the worst thing that could happen to a person. Her only son dead by this person, and she gives him shelter. I mean, that's deep. That's deep forgiveness. So what to speak of some little squabbles we have, some little, we keep some little thing, I'm guilty of it too. This hoarding resentment. Oh, this person said to me, this to me 10 years ago. This person did this to me, some little thing. It's terrible. So how to get over this? Krishna consciousness. Hearing and chanting, praying to Krishna that we can be forgiving, that we can be Krishna conscious, that we can understand that everybody is a soul. Like this lady, she was a very religious lady, so she absorbed that mood of Lord Chaitanya. Of Lord Jesus Christ. That don't hate the sinner, hate the sin. She understood deep down there's a good boy there. And he became a good boy. By her mercy, he became a good boy. He became a good man. So, Krishna consciousness is the solution to all problems. Anything else? Okay, thank you very much. Srila Bhagavatam ki jai.